美濃笠さんから電話。すごい急ぎみたいだったから、コキ持ってきちゃったけど。
ああ、いや、構わん。ありがとう。
It was sort of like eating or something. Having just woken up, my mind isn't quite with it yet. But I take the receiver and put it to my ear nevertheless. He was just sleeping.
もしもし、お電話変わりました。相鉄です。
ああ、相鉄くん。朝早くからすまんですな。昨夜も何度か連絡取ろうとしよったですが。
ああ、すみません。昨日は深夜過ぎまで戻れずに。
Yeah, he was too busy getting some sloppy. Never mind.
いや、すまんとはこっちです。頼まれとったけん、雲行きが怪しくなってしまいました。
え？
The thing I asked Minokasa's help with was with... Wow. The restoration of Kiha 7 and my treasure stuff. He was to gather the craftsmen and organize them.
皆さん、ご参加くださると伺っておりましたが。
それが突然、大口の仕事場入ってきよったとですよ。至急で、納期が2ヶ月後のものば、大かとです。
2ヶ月後？
That'll completely overlap with the minister's inspection.
それも、納期ギリギリまで詰めて間に合うかどうかいう仕事量と質のものばかりいう話で。
発注元は？
それぞれ元からの長い付き合いのある取引先からどうしても言うことで頼まれたらしいいうことで。
複数の別個の取引先からこのタイミングで納期の同じ仕事ですか？
You've been sabotaged. That coincidence is impossible. If this is no coincidence, someone purposefully set this up.
これからそちらへお邪魔させていただきたいのですが。
そうしてもらえると助かります。電話で済む話ではなさそうですけ。
では、すぐ向かいます。
相鉄さん。
ああ、深見も来ていたのか。
右太一酒造元さんに電話したら、相鉄さん、ここに向かったって教えてもらって。
Fukami takes out a small piece of paper from her pouch and carefully unfolds it.
相鉄さん、これ、見ましたか？
ああ、新聞の求人チラシか。ひょっとしてポーレットがもう。
No, I was wrong. The one who put a recruitment ad in wasn't Paulette. Without even trying to hide it, I see the will behind it all.
宝生。元田だ。
Short-term, part-time workers wanted safe and secure jobs with the aircraft tech company. Administration, public relations, terrain surveying, all kinds of job postings are listed, and the numbers wanted a large scale.
時給1600円だと。
作業とアルバイト、見たことなかばい。だよね。お人よで800円を超える時給なんて、深夜帯だって1000円いくかいかないかなのに。
Paulette. If Fukami knows her stuff, she is the de facto president of Kuma River downstreaming after all. River with the capital I. Having distinct numbers gives us a reference point that the wage here is high.
倍のお給料もらえるんならよかとよね。
しかも、くそ、大臣視察までの期間だけの雇い切りか。
I look to old man Munokasa, who nods back at me with a bitter face. Purpose of this is obvious to anyone's eyes.
こちらの人集めは、なりふり構わず妨害に来ているのか。
でも、なりふり構ってる感じかも、です。
の
Fukami's slender fingers point at the business name of the recruitment, Ohitoyo Work Service Limited.
全然聞いたことのない会社ですから。
おそらく、今求人のためだけに作った会社じゃなかろうかと思います。
この求人のためだけに。
うち、熊川下り、それですごく苦労したから、わかるんですけど。
Although she's not at fault in the slightest, Fukami says that with an apologetic tone.
一度でもその金額で人を雇うと、雇われた方はその金額を期待する、ですから。
The meaning of her words sends a chill down my spine.
前例になってしまうということか。
それがなんね、どぎゃんして兄さん阻害に困った顔をしようと？
向こうは臨時に作った会社だ。目的を果たして解散すればそれで済む。が。
マイントレジャーはこれからずーっとやっていこうっていうことだから。わかったばい！向こうに対抗して時給2000円とかしたら、それが後々までたたりおるばい！
うん。その通りだ。なら、
こっちも臨時で会社場作ったらどうと？
With what money?
だって、私たち、お人よでこれからも暮らしていくでしょ？
Yes. They can just use people from external sources. Even if Hosho Mototada is pulling the strings, as long as there's no proof, he can say that the aircraft company did it.
僕たちには便利に使える隠れ蓑はない。あったとて、信頼を失ってしまえば、未来もなくなる。
そん隠れ蓑に、いいようにお人用の業者も使われてしまいましたかの。
ああ。
It's natural once you think about it. But I feel almost lucky that there aren't numerous people who would do something so dirty.
そうですよね。お聞かせいただいた職人さんたちへの急な仕事も。
今会社が元請けで、それぞれに断りづらい取引先に下請けばさせておるんでしょうな。
孫請けで、各職人さんたちに仕事を振るようにと指示してですか。
Just looking at the part-time wage, I get the feeling it was at an amount that they simply couldn't turn down. Actually.
美濃笠さんのところにもですか。
私んとこは年寄り2人に孫1人。そん孫も自分の食いぶちば稼ぎよる手金いい子ですけんね。
He did receive an order, but he turned it down. Old man Minokasa said it in a way so as not to be a burden on me by stating just the facts.
ありがとうございます。
礼を言われることじゃなかとです。なぎたちのため、お人よの水場守るのは私の望みでもありますけん。
はい。
But Ohitoyo has been a long recession. How many people like Minokasa are there who would turn down big money for the sake of mine treasure?
深見ちゃん、これ船頭さんたちの話にも影響が出てくるんじゃなかと？多分。っていうか、絶対。
I wonder what she means about that, but then Fukami tells me right away.
はい。マイントレジャーの話、うちの川下り、結構重要な役割を果たすじゃないですか。
Indeed, It would lead to an increase of customers at the very least, and the increase in customers would lead to an increase in revenue.
なぎちゃん、鉄道の方でも忙しくなるし、何人かでも復帰を募れないかって考えてたんです。
離職した船頭さんの、か。
I think it may be difficult. Coming back to a place they left behind seems like it wouldn't be the easiest thing to do. In fact, this is a rather harsh hand we've been dealt. The mines, dormitory buildings, trolley tracks, power station. There are too many things to maintain, and we need all the help we can get. Naturally, mine treasure will need a cast, and they would have to be trained from scratch.
このままやられっぱなしですりつぶされと？
いや。
That's no good. Staying silent will only make them worry more.
ポーレットはすでに動き始めている。駅張りや中吊りで求人を打つ手配になっている。
じゃあ向こうほどお給料は出せなかとよね。
同じ土俵で勝負をするのは論外だ。金と金とで戦えば、こちらに勝ち目はまるでない。
Nagi's simple question closes off my escape path. Keep moving forward. There's no way to go but forward.
だから、ミノカサさんと同様に、金より未来を選んでくれる。そうした人を集める手段を考えるのだ。
Fukami's face darkens. There are many people she was close to that had difficulty in making a living and left their jobs that they were used to.
ポスターとかビラとかはソギャント風に作っとね。その他にドギャンテバーとかね。
地道ではありますが、口コミバーどうでしょうかの。理念やらは面と向かってしか伝わらん気がしますけん。
そうですね。今すぐにできそうなのはその辺ですか。
じゃったら、私はその方面で幾人かでも遺留してみっとです。
ありがとうございます。ご無理なければよろしくお願いいたします。
そうですよね。断られると最初から決まってるわけじゃないし。深見ちゃん、船頭さんだった人たちに声ばかけっと？なら、うちは職人さんたちに頼んでみるばい。
よろしく頼む。
任せとけばーい。
By getting some help, I'm starting to see a sliver of hope. One by one, asking people that way might open up a path.
ともかく動こう。立ち止まるのは動けなくなってからで十分だ。そうか。わかった。
I hang up the phone, call from Paulette. I think I managed to remain calm until I hung up.
くっそ。
But because I tried to maintain that, the moment I hang up, hatred wells up and springs out of my heart.
理念は金には立ち向かえんのか。1週間経ってもまだ6人しか応募が来ていないとは。
6 people are nowhere near enough. And on top of that, those 6 are right out of school.
キャスト志望者が集まったところで、その指導をできる者もまだいない。
We're being pushed into a corner. The water's already up to our chin. And yet, we still don't have an effective solution. We are being overwhelmed by the power of money.
エアクラ工場誘致をお人よの滅びにつながると分かってくれたのではなかったのか。
分かっとっても流されよるんよ。自分一人くらいってついつい思ってしまうけん。
I didn't notice her at all. I started to get worried about when she started listening in.
響はお絵描き。他のみんなは蔵やけん。よかとよ。愚痴も弱音も、うち以外には聞こえんけん。
愚痴と弱音か。
When she puts it that way, I figure that there's no use playing tough. This is Makoto we're talking about. She can tell everything about me, and this is why she's a viable option. But you're gonna have to wait until her out.
どうしたらいいかな、枕ね。他はともかく、畑さんまでもが金の力に負けてしまった。
畑さんって、ボイラ屋さんの？
ああ、他の畑さんに用はない。
Why would Makoto ask something so obvious? Being irritated, I roughened up my voice, exposing my impatience and short temper.
すまん。いささか動揺した。まさかここまで追い込まれるとは思ってなかった。
そうちゃん。ほんまこつ、追い込まれとうと？
え？
What a stupid question. But Makoto's eyes, voice, and attitude don't feel teasing in the slightest.
ボイラ屋さんに、そうちゃん、何ば頼みよるつもりやったと？
それはもちろん、86の。
I realized at mid-sentence, the boiler maintenance of 8620 is...
そうちゃん、教わっとらんかったと？
いや、教わった。1から10まで、丁寧に教えていただいた。
Then in this situation, Hata functions only as my backup to lighten my workload and make things safer.
1から10まで仕込んでもらって。
So the solution is just to have Sotetsu do most of the work that he... you just want to increase the workload for everyone who can work, right? And get rid of the most amount of people that aren't cooperating because they want money. I don't think I said it in the correct way.
すまない。僕が完全に間違えていた。口コミの誘いを断られ続け、きっと意固地になっていた。
At this point, I don't desire Hata's occupational ability. I naively assumed that Hata wouldn't turn me down and would cooperate.
報酬が十分で、能力ば使い切らねばこなせんことなら、そりゃ職人の一番嬉しか仕事よね。
うん。
That's why Hata chose that job. It's only natural.
申し訳ない。金の誘惑に負けたなど、未熟な僕の逆恨みによる暴言に過ぎなかった。
Resenting someone for picking a better job is the stupidest thing I've done.
今は無理でも、さらに良い仕事を提示して、本当に力が必要ならば、そうして借りれば良いだけだ。
A gentle voice that sounds like like both an affirmation and a question. Knowing that this is how Makoto is, I feel the tension leaving my body.
宝生元忠は、そこまでを準備し、仕掛けてきた。それは、今の僕には及びもつかぬ力量だ。
力量言うなら、そうちゃんは銀行さんに決して負けておらんでしょうに。
え？
Makoto never says baseless stuff, however.
しかし、今のこの状況を見ると。
なんなん、力量の問題じゃなかとよ。単に覚悟の問題ばい。
覚悟？いや、覚悟なら。
Or I think I do. I believe I've done the best I can. Yet I'm unable to instantly say that in response to Makoto. Perhaps that in and of itself is proof of my lack of conviction.
銀行さんは、なりふりも手段もかまっとらんばい。けど、そうちゃんは、なりふりは気にしとるよね。
いや、しかし、畑さんにも、他の幾人にも、僕は頭を下げて。
No, they aren't the first one I should be pleading to. If I didn't care about my methods, the first person I should have asked for help is elsewhere.
僕は、まず、枕姉に助力を願うべきだった。
Yes. You know, like in every other route. Paulette had sent a request to Makoto, but they shouldn't have mattered. Being family, being her adoptive brother, I should have taken advantage of our familial ties and asked for her help.
枕姉一人の話ではない。ミノカサさんにも、赤い宮司にも、頼れる相手がいるのなら、心底頼るべきだった。
I was just putting on airs, well, knowing that I was in danger of being backed into a corner. If it's not too much trouble, those words are a subconscious escape from my responsibility as the client.
僕の甘さが苦境を深めてしまっていたのか。
ま、そぎゃんとも一部にはあるろうね。
Makoto plainly and simply judges me for my mistake. She's judging me, but she does it with a smile while outstretching her hand to me.
けど、うちはお姉ちゃんやけんね。そうちゃんのこと、おせっかいでも助けよるんよ。
I mean, like, in your romance route, you're gonna be husband and wife, but that's beside the point.
これは、
There's a piece of paper in Makoto's hand. It's actually a few sheets of print paper.
そうちゃんの理念が、お金に負けるばかりじゃなかいう証したい。
証？
The moment I see it, gratitude and joy erupt inside me. But at the same time, a sense of fear strikes me. I've been ignoring this huge blind spot the entire time.
同意書と名簿ばあるばい。細かな条件は、そうちゃんたちにしか決められんけん。詰めとらんけど。
炭鉱、技術者さんたちの。かつて、術船炭鉱で働いていた。
大体の機関人たちやけん。おせっかいかと思うたけど。まあ。
おせっかいどころか。
This is a lifeline that can't be let go, and yet we'd completely ignored it. If Makoto didn't move before us, this may have been taken care of by the other side.
本当に助かった。ありがとう、枕ね。
こんなんはね、自分のためよ。右太一酒造元も出資するけんね。
だとしても、やはり、ありがと
Yeah, but like, why is the paper so blurry? I bowed deeply only to hear her scoff at me.
感謝の気持ちやったらそうちゃん。言葉より形で示すのが上等よね。
Hang on a minute. Wait until your route, marketer, alright? Oh, wait, you're talking about something else.
う。形で、どんな形で示せば？
それはもちろん、マイントレジャーば成功させることたい。
なら、
I won't make the same mistake twice. I could put on airs once everything's done. Right now, I must acknowledge my ignorance and powerlessness.
教えてくれ、枕ね。僕は、そうするために何をすればいい？
まずは、ないものを欲しがるのをよして、あるものを使い切るようにした方がよかとね。
なあ、うん、そうだな。
Instead of lamenting having only 6 applicants, I should be thankful that even 6 applied. On top of that, I have to take those 6 folks and utilize them to their fullest abilities and motivations. That's right.
ないものを欲しがるから、実際以上に僕は追い詰められた気になったのか。
そう。まず、自分らの現状を正確に把握せんといけんね。そうせんままに相手さんに対応すれば、泥仕合ばい。
そして泥仕合に持ち込まれれば、資本力と組織力に勝る向こうが勝ってしまうのか。
That could possibly be the true aim of Mototada. For sure. I didn't mean to say his first name and last name, but it just turned out that way. It was meant to be last name, first name. He would play some cards and make us want to counteract all over the place.
こちらの方が少数なのだ。最初からそれは変わらない。同じ土俵でぶつかっていては勝てんのだ。
Whether they want to they want to intercept or go on the offensive, that doesn't change. If it turns into a defensive battle, it'll just turn into a battle of attrition, which we won't win. In that case, we have to escape the battle itself.
僕らの勝利条件は最初から何も変わっていない。追い詰められてあがいているのはむしろ向こうだ。
Naturally, the fight they'll put up will be fierce. Underestimating a brown bear's fight, a brown bear's fight to the death as insignificant would easily crush us.
大臣視察を合格点で乗り切ればいい。それだけできれば僕らの勝ちは揺るがなくなる。
ドギャンとしたら合格点で乗り切れっと。
Makuda says that as if to test me. If Makuda is the test officer, there's no fear in giving the wrong answer.
なすべきことのミニマムをまず洗い出す。そしてそれに必要な工数を何としても確保する。
The simpler the work, the harder it is to reverse it. The bare minimum man hours needed. If we can fill that up, no matter how many people they hired, it wouldn't affect us.
やったら頑張ってそぎゃんとせんとね。
I finally got passing marks from her. She's giving me a gentle push, which feels reassuring. More than anything, I don't have to hesitate anymore.
そうするためにマクラね、僕らに力を貸してほしいんだ。
Maitetsu. Look, all I'm gonna say is just I have this feeling of like, what's the point of this
お弁当もうすぐですよね。
what's the point of this conflict, right? Because like this all stemmed from Paulette winning the vote, and then Mototada got fucking pissy about it because he wants to support the aircraft factory, and so he's trying to sabotage us by hiring all the craftsmen, and then like, what would change by getting if you got rid of this part of the route? And my answer is nothing. Right? Look, we haven't finished the route yet, so maybe something will be different. But like, we've already reached the conclusion of everything else that happened before this, right? Like we found our where Japan's best at fucking Ekiben or whatever, or like Kijiuma or whatever, right? The stuff that they talked about at the start of the route that has come back now, right? That's whatever, right? They've solved Reina's problem. They brought in Nidoku, right? Paulette's still mayor. She's dating Sortetsu, right? We've already solved the mine treasure problem. We've just added another thing to this route that doesn't make sense, right? It just feels like padding for whatever reason.
ああ、正午だと聞いている。
She was looking forward to it so much, but Paulette's complexion seems pale. She looks at the clock hands and lets out a long sigh. Once she tries to hide from me.
この状況だ。気がせくのもわかるが。
ああ、いえ、気がせくのももちろんあるんですけど。
She opens her mouth, reluctant to say something, but then closes it again. It feels as if she's backtracked to the old Paulette. But even if that is the case, what I must do, if what I want does not change.
どんなことでも言ってくれ。そのため、僕はここにいるんだから。
そうですか。
A small nod. Her eyes show doubt, amidst various other emotions, but she turns to me to expose everything.
全部無駄になっちゃうんじゃないかって怖いんです。お弁当も回収も今までやってきたこと全部。
人がこのまま集まらなければ、そのことを心配しているのか。
はい、そうしたら、もしマイントレジャー計画が立ち上げられずに終わっちゃったら。
大丈夫だ、ポーレット。
I reach out to her and brush her hair, but Paulette's expression is still tense. I made sure I speak slowly and choose my words carefully.
そんなことには決してならない。万一視察が失敗しても、次の一手で再逆転を。
次なんて。
The confident step closes our distance. Paulette's bumping into me numerous times.
だってそうなったら相鉄くんお人よからいなくなっちゃう。
ああ。
The deepest portion of her scar is rooted in in how her mother abandoned her. I know that's the reason, and I understand that, but understanding doesn't necessarily lead to healing right away.
いなくなるか。そういえば、僕にもそんな話があったな。
そんな他人事みたいに。
他人か。なのかもしれん。あの頃の僕と、今の僕とは、もうすでに。
Her face freezes, a surprised look washing over her, so I caress her. It seems like she's lost some weight. She must be stressed at how the recruitment isn't going well.
それってどういう。
But I continue caressing her. The worry in her eyes seems to fade. She trusts me, which I think is ultimately helping her calm down in the next calm down. In that next moment, I know exactly what to say.
あの頃の僕は思い込んでた。人に望まれることをする。それが唯一の贖罪であり、恩返しする方法なのだと。
I finally realized that myself when I say it out loud. I'd locked away those words deep inside my head for such a long time. My mind and heart, the past and present, seemed to finally connect a line.
が、僕が受けた最大の恩は、それでは決して返せない。そのことに気づけたがゆえ、変わったのだ。
To truly be considerate of another, to step in and think of that. I was taught that I was capable of that. And then I realized, Paulette made me realize.
ポーレットのことを好きになり、君といることが幸せで。だから、わかった。
何をですか？
事故の時、僕は双子の妹に突き放されたと。そう思ってた。
A scar in the deepest part of my being, a scar that can still bleed when touched. But now I feel the blood to be something warm.
双子だった。何をするのも一緒だった。ずっと一緒に大人になると、そうとぼんやり思ってた。
On that day, at that time, she pushed me away from dying with her. A part of me hated that she rejected me.
だからこれからずっと一人だと思っていた。 一人で誰かに尽くすものだと思っていた。が、
I embrace her. The warmth I hold in my arms is the person who saved me.
僕は一人じゃなくなった。君が幸せに笑ってくれれば、僕も幸せになれるんだ。
Myself back in the old days took that kind of thing for granted. That's why I lost sight of it and couldn't remember it anymore. When you're happy, I'm happy. That simple, selfish, childish, yet noble feeling.
そうなるために、僕は生かしてもらえたんだ。僕が生きているそのことが、美智子の喜びだったから。
Silence. The arms that embrace me tighten. Our bodies stick close to one another's, and we share our heat, our heartbeats, and our emotions.
ならば僕は、自分の生きたいよう生きる。自分の性を精一杯に使い切る。
I'll just simply and selfishly pursue my own happiness. Michiko did that for me until the very end. We shared our laughter with that. We shared everything with each other, even our happiness.
だから僕はいなくならない。誰の意向がどうあれど、僕はポーレットのそばにいる。
はい。
That's my greatest wish. By continuing to do so someday, I'll always remember Michiko's smile, but I think I can finally send her off with one of my own.
だから、大丈夫だ、ポーレット。
I let go of her, and then lock my eyes on Paulette's. The edges of her eyes are red. I honestly would hate to see her cry right now.
義父が与えてくれた機会を無意にする気も無論ない。万が一など起こしはしないし、誰の期待も裏切らない。
The situation is surely dire, but it's too early to despair just yet. We have done everything we can, but even still, I or someone else could still come up with a better method.
人は必ず集められるし、集まるさ。
Her pale cheeks gradually regained color. She was afraid that I would really leave, and she told me that honestly. We exposed what we've really thought, our most delicate feelings, Paulette and I both. When I realized that, feelings of joy, gratitude, and responsibility come to mind.
そうするためにまず、視察を乗り切るのに最小限必要な人数を洗い直したい。
I stand up straight, and we let go of each other. Our gaze goes from the past back to the present. I tell Paulette exactly the same thing that Makoto taught me.
ああ、そうですね。最小限、ミニマムでって考えれば、それだけ集めることができれば。
Paulette's mindset changes quickly too. From the worried little girl, she goes back to being the reserved but realistic and able mayor.
向こうがどれほど人を集めようと関係なくなる。ゴールを明確に設定できれば、到達だけに集中できる。
やります、すぐに。キャストの人数についてはどうですか？
Okay, I like how I just talked about how this fucking conflict does nothing with the could be removed and nothing would change, and then they have that moment with each other. But like, that is the only thing that this conflict could achieve, right? Because there isn't any other reason to continue on with the route after they've already finished their character arcs together, right? So like, if they just wrote it better and then had them do all of this without having the whole, oh, we need to blah 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 fucking the inspector or whatever shit, right? Like, there is nothing in this arc, I guess you could say, that would make them do this, right? Like there's nothing here that is exclusive to this kind of problem that would make them do this kind of thing, right? You could write it hundreds of different ways that wouldn't involve padding out the story. Whatever.
本当に最低限なら一人でよかろう。鉱山妖精がいることを示せれば足りるのだから。
I don't even know if I'm articulating myself correctly. But like, without this part, there is no substance to the conflict that is currently going on, right?
ならそこは一人で。あ、でも当日の急病とかあったら。
そうか。日程を考えれば一人が習熟できるのはせいぜい一役でギリギリだから。
接客系は各所に一人ずつはバックアップ必要ですよね。
We write things down as we talk about it and realize that this bare minimum just can't be reduced.
で、発電所の再稼働は諦めてバッテリーで代替するにしても。
うん。トロッコはどうしても復元せねば、お年寄りや子供が楽しめない施設となってしまう。
Doing maintenance on the trolleys should be much simpler than diesel cars or locomotives. But considering the work needed to restore the tracks, it'll be a large-scale project even for the trolleys.
1日8時間を40日フルに働いてもらえたとして、補選だけで61人、トータルで100人は必要になります。
100人か。かなりきついな。
Even if we hire every single applicant, we need another 94. No matter how difficult things are, we can't reduce the number anymore. If we reduce it beyond that, we sacrifice safety or comfort, or both, which would mean that we'd just be repeating the same mistakes as Imperial Railway.
僕の方でもいくつかの手を打ってはいるが、ポーレットも思いつくことがあったら言ってくれ。
The moment I say that, Paulette starts folding her slender fingers as she counts.
一般の求人雑誌や新聞チラシ、あとは市の広報誌とシルバー人材センターとか。
広報誌を使っても大丈夫なのか？
市も参席に関わりますから。けどどうかな。そこは宮本さんに聞いてみてから。なんでしょう。
玄関にお弁当が届いています。100食分。
100食分
100 servings.
ああ。
I did ask for as much as possible, but I'd have to say that marketer went out of her way to do this. She made it on time in such a short period.
僕らではとても食べきれん。市職員の方にもよければ試食をお願いしよう。
そうですね。宮本さん、お弁当を持ってきてない職員さんに。
承りました。すぐそのように伝達いたします。
Is this how we lure them in?
あら、お二人お揃いで。
We got 100 servings and we needed 100 employees. Sounds a bit coincidental if you ask me. Too coincidental, I mean.
こんにちは、長山さん。
Paulette's eyes look at the place behind Mizunagayama. Is that a pallet? The rectangular boxes are filled to the brim with food.
試食用のお弁当、ご注文の100食、なんとか間に合わせたわ。
ご注文って。
僕が頼んだ。枕ネーを通じてたが。
枕さんに。
宮本さん、お弁当ってこれですか？
本当に僕らがご馳走になっても？
ええ。マイントレジャーでの観光列車の駅弁のその試食品ということですので、ご遠慮なく。
Happy bacon lovers and mosquito day. What a fucking combo. So get some meat in ya and squash those bloodsuckers slowly waking up. Thanks for the hydrate.
はい、どうぞ。
Why would you want to celebrate fucking mosquitoes? They like kill the most amount of people, especially in third world countries.
美味しそう。市長、ごちそうになります。
はい、どうぞ。たくさん食べて感想、後で聞かせてくださいね。
任せてください。いただきます。
IDK most likely some kind of awareness day, right? Listen, the only mosquito I would celebrate is the one from One Punch Man, alright? Following the young workers who open the lid, many others start to gather around. Not only did city employees come, the janitor ladies, security guard, and the parking lot attendees also show up.
そっか。せっかくの試食なんだし、いろんな人の意見を聞けた方が有意義ですもんね。
Too much blood pass.
それだけではないがな。と話すのもいいが、まずは食べよ
う。Listen, I've had too many nosebleeds to be scared of blood, alright?
あ、そうですよね。
We sit a little distance away. But no one joins us. Neither the workers nor Miyamoto come into our group.
間に合ったね。
Comes into our group.
おう、まくらね。
ここどうぞです。
じゃあ、こっちもご飯にしましょうか。
She must have come straight from her work at the brewery. When Makoto shows up, we form a group.
それでは、いただきます。
あ、はい。いただきます。
A cheer is heard the moment the lunchbox is handed over.
なんと、掛け紙も間に合わせたのか。
響ちゃんの絵ですね。これ、和紙っぽい紙にカラーコピーじゃない。ちゃんとした印刷ですよ。
すごいな。箱もしっかりしているし。
本物の駅弁ですよね。これ、もう商品レベル。
The Kijikuma bear is riding the Kijiuma. And it's wearing a smile and a cook's hat. Chef's hat. Inside the lunchbox is the stewed sweet fish, made to look like the Kijiuma. And the fried chicken made to look like it's finished with coal.
うん。中身がパッとわかるのがいい。絵もうまそうで期待が高まる。おお。
The inside looks so much better than the picture. No, the fragrance it emits is very appetizing. It emits Jesus. No, the fragrance it emits a very appetizing smell. Well, it's already dug in. I better keep up. Let's start with the sweet fish.
確かに。これは実にうまいな。
The slight sweetness of the stewed sweet fish goes well with the innate faint bitterness of the fish. With the innate faint bitterness the fish has. Soy sauce stew is also soaked up with the rice, making it tasty as well. With my palate, when my palate is tired of the sweetness, the cold fried chicken awaits. It's well balanced. I can't stop eating.
はい、そうてつくん、お茶です。
ああ、すまん。おっと。ありがとうございます、市長。
In front of the other city employees, I'm the mayor's secretary. I quickly try to gloss over it, but no one's listening. Everyone's eating in silence. They're all just eating non-stop. Even tea in a paper carton can taste this good. He should also be sold at the train stores. Once my palate is cleansed, I want to eat the stewed fish again.
うまかとね。あゆにの基準は見た目も味も上等ったい。
この味。これだけ出してもらえれば明日から営業できちゃうわ。
She's enjoying the coal-fried chicken with black sesame, but she doesn't quite understand the situation. Paulette has a confused look on her face, so Mrs. Nagayama smiles at her.
急によ。今朝、枕ちゃん、商店会のご婦人連中引き連れて。
そうちゃんに頼まれたけんね。お弁当たくさん作れるように応援に行ってほしかって。
駅弁だからな。数個だけでは仕方ない。量産できるか、それも試験してほしかったのだ。
そう言われればそうだけど、見た目によらず、結構無茶言う子ね、この子。
Oops. Mrs. Nagayama smiles at her in a way that seems to indicate she'll run into some issues in the future.
望むとこです。そういうの。
わーお。
ありゃあ、ぽーちゃん。しっかり言うようになったとね。それで。
Perhaps because she feels bashful at the comment, Paulette tries to quickly change the subject.
けど、100食分ってお台所とか。
斜め向かい、山内さん。大敗戦で休業したけど、もともと駅弁屋さんだもの。奥さん、レシピ面も設備面も喜んで協力してくれて。
奥さん、ご退院されてたんですね。知らなかった。ちょうど1週間くらい前。そうちゃんもぽーちゃんもえらいバタバタしとったけんね。
なるほど。本職のご協力もあったわけか。
Look at the lunchboxes again. I look at the lunchboxes again and again. With Hibiki's illustration printed on Japanese paper, this is sellable merchandise, even in its current form.
掛け紙も箱もしない発注よ。もちろん。
長山さんがあちこち声かけしてくれとったけん。今日の話にもみんな喜んで力ば貸してくれたとよ。
そうだったんですか。ありがとうございます。
いえいえ、持ちつ持たれつですし。
She says that playfully as Nagayama pokes at Makota's side.
そうそう。町内会の婦人部の皆さんね。人手不足なら協力するって。
なら駅弁の方は。
そっちもやけど、マイントレジャーの方も。
マイントレジャーも？
そうよ。美濃笠さんの奥さんなんか、仲間外れはつまらんけんね、おっしゃって。
美濃笠さんが。
I remember her always manning the store with her calm demeanor. I thought she and Minokasa made a nice elderly couple, but she said she didn't want to be left out.
確かに。言われてみれば、ご婦人に力を借りるという発想はなかった。
Yeah, what are you, sexist? I can't believe Sotetsu would only rely on the men. What about the women in his... While working around so many able women, I'm ashamed of my narrow vision. That's what I'm saying. He's literally surrounded by fucking women. There's only like 3 guys that he talks to.
助かります。ねえ、そうてつくん。保線は力仕事だけじゃないですし。
うん。
That's true. But I feel like there's something off about asking those people for help with the track maintenance. Was that not one of his? Was that not an option before? They have the aura of the good old days of Japan about them.
いや、キャストだ。キャストをお願いしよう。
キャストですか？
テーマパークやキャストという言葉にとらわれすぎた。冷静になれば、お人用の炭鉱に西洋風の衣装は似合わん。
ああ、それは、そうかもですね。
むしろ日の本だ。純和風。古き良き炭鉱の姿を思い出させるテーマパークだ。
The past of Ohituyo is not wrong. We have our present thanks to the past. I think I've figured out what conveying the message of the technology succession coal mine should look like.
今はひとまず最小限だが、将来的にはご老人もご婦人も若者も子供も赤ちゃんも犬猫さえもキャストにしたい。
いいですね。それいい。借り物じゃない。お人よのかつての姿のテーマパーク。
This can fill in the rift between the generations and sexes, and also expand new jobs. Soon, everyone may start to think of it as our mine treasure.
ポーレットが賛成ならそうしよう。食後すぐにでも婦人会の皆さんにご挨拶したい。
了解よ。したら夕方にまた集まってもらうようにするけん。
ありがとうございます。これで少しは人材確保の方も希望が。
It's a young female employee. She has one of the lunchboxes in her hand, probably returning it.
すみません。聞こえてきちゃって。人手不足とか人材確保とか。
そうなんです。
I was planning to ask for opinions after eating. That's what the 100 servings were for. But the workers themselves are coming to me instead.
エアクラ関係で大型の求人あったのを知ってる？あの煽りでマイントレジャーに人が集まらなくて。
I didn't explain to Paulette beforehand, but she's calmly talking about it in a way even I hadn't anticipated.
それで補選とかキャストとかしてくれる人を探してるんです。
それって僕でもできますか？
もちろん。
高崎くん、副業禁止。
Miyamoto quickly throws a wrench into the gears. That's right. Public servants, as a general rule, are not allowed to have side jobs. But the head and being the head and in a special position, Paulette is given permission by the prefecture and national personnel authority. As mayor, Paulette's able to give permission to a city employee, which is a big conflict of interest.
わかってます。けど、ボランティアなら問題ありませんよね。
ああ、そうね。
ボランティアだと本当に無償になりますよ。
構いませんよ。うまい飯食わせてもらいましたし。それに市長に恩返しもしたいですしね。
He slaps his stomach jokingly. He may look like he's joking, but his gaze is serious.
恩返し？
諦めなかったじゃないですか。お人よの水を守るために。自分たちが様子見してた頃にもたった一人でも。
様子見しちゃうんです。私たち。どんな市長の下でも働かなくちゃいけませんから。
I see. When the mayor changes, the policy and methods also change. If they show full support for a particular administration, that may come back to bite them in the ass in the future.
それは わかりますし、当然のことだと思います。
でも、それが当然じゃダメなんですよね。そのことを私、市長に教えてもらいました。
私にですか？
それが市のためだと思ったら自分から動かなきゃ。自分らの本当の雇い主は市民の皆さんなんすから。
Miyamoto gives a surprised look. Without us realizing it, everyone around us suddenly listens in on our conversation.
市長はお人よのためにたった一人でも頑張った。自分それを見て感動したから真似したいんです。
ずるいな。私がそれ言おうと思ったのに。
わしのような年寄りにでも役に立てるようなことがあれば。
力仕事ならお任せください。力仕事しかできませんがね。
Everyone joins in saying me too, and that continues to spread. Gee, I never would have guessed that giving that oh, we needed 100 employees. Oh, look, we just so happened to have 100 servings of bento that everyone can have. Oh, now they're all gonna help us. Gee, who would have guessed this is how it would have turned out. Amidst it all, Paulette begins shaking. Her blue eyes waver as she holds back tears of joy.
私、だって。
ポーレット、何を取り繕う必要もないさ。
These people here have been watching you. They saw you shoulder the weight of your father and fight desperately without being crushed underneath it. Her tears overflow and she sniffles. They must have seen this a lot too. Her days as mayor are being acknowledged by everyone. Joy gives Paulette strength. While crying, she still stands tall and proudly, a nasally tone to her voice.
皆さん、どうか、お人よのために、そのお力を貸してください。
A loud cheer erupts from the crowd, and everyone clapped. A billowing heat is born, and then a cool breeze cuts through it.
シフト管理の人材は足りていますか？もしいないなら、私もボランティアとして。
How reassuring. The moment I think that I understand the word reassuring isn't enough to express how I feel. Yes, the hall is filled with specialists in their own fields. Public works section, construction section, accounting section, urban planning section, disaster prevention section. The specialist knowledge from each section is exactly what we want. Yeah, but now the word section has lost all its meaning. Oh, that's amazing. Even thanks to you, the entire past is allying with us. I first felt impressed, then happy, and now endeared.
Yosh.
Then let's play this hand. This is the future I'll walk with Paulette. I have my own past, and now it's my ally. Thank you. Thank you saving me and letting me live. Thank you for saving me and letting me live. I truly believe that deep down there's nothing more to be afraid of. The future I want is an extension of what we built in the past.
Kijishi bunka というものはどうなのですかね、実際。
There's this fucking bowl cut of hair motherfucker. With the station lunchbox open, the slightly fat minister asks a thinner minister. The two ministers sit diagonally from each other in a box seat for four.
面白いですね。ほとんど研究は進んでませんが、日の本はやはり木と紙の国ですので。
Holy shit. I didn't think there was something more fucked up than his bowl cart. But what is the name? What is his name? Minister of Education? Minister of Economy. What? It's so fucking squished, man.
そんなもんですか。
Minister of Economic Trade and Industry. I think that's what it says.
大臣の地元鳥取にも木工の町があったでしょう。若狭でしたか。あそこも木地師と縁が深そうですね。
And then Minister of Education, something, Sports, Science and Technology. What the fuck are these names?
ほう。若さの林業も今は弱ってしまっておりますがね。
You could have just given them names like fucking John and Bill. You didn't have to give them full ass light novel title names.
まもなく鉄橋を通過します。9時の方向をご覧ください。
Well, that's conservative guide voice makes the minister's turn.
眼下に流れる球磨川は県内最大の河川です。日の本三大急流の一つとしても知られていますね。
なら、この鮎も球磨川で？
はい、お人よの特産品の一つです。
The thin minister affirms and starts to eat.
生地馬を模しているのですね。なかなか美味しい、可愛らしい。
ありがとうございます。26さんとクージーさん、お上手ですね。
We pass the railway bridge, but the surface of the T's at the minister's sides don't even shake. The effect of reverting back to being a gasoline train must be big, but I'm sure the Reverend and Niroku's skills have much to do with it.
神社の視察も良い感触だった。説明役の大役を終え、宮司としても気分よく乗務されているのだろ
デイナたちも負けないように頑張らないとですね。
うん。
あと5分ほど。列車はマイントレジャー入り口駅に着きます。そこからはトロッコに乗っていただきます。
トロッコか。懐かしいな。大臣は己になったことは？
さあ、あったような、なかったような。
なかなか楽しいものですよ。この列車ほど乗り心地よくはありませんがね。
到着しました。
お、ご苦労。運転見事だったな。わしが嘘つきになってしまったよ。
I can't help but grin. The volunteer work for the train maintenance was done perfectly. Yet Raynard bows deeply.
はあ、ごめんなさいです。
責めてない。褒めている。
ここは炭鉱ではないようですが。
はい、ここはギスさんやコウフさんが暮らしていたかつての宿舎です。
ああ、高度経済成長期の面影を感じますね。
確かに、あの時期はこうした鉱壇がたくさんでしたな。ああ、ほら、懐かしい。割烹着姿で買い物に。
What was that at the end? The Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry freezes. Thank God he finally says the name of the guy. Mr. Economy of Mr. Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry. A lady in a cooking coat slides out from the crumbling dormitory while carrying a shopping basket.
ちょうどよかった。妖精さんですね。
I feel bad for the people who have to dress up in fucking fairy costumes.
妖精さん
って私たちは呼んでます。鉱山が栄えていた頃の思い出だとも言われています。
鉱山の思い出。廃鉱山が見る夢か。
See, it's one thing to have like this urban legend of fairies in the coal mines and shit like that, but it's another thing to have people dress up in fucking fairy costumes and then just roam around the coal mine. Despite how he looks, the minister is quite the romanticist, Jesus Christ. He quickly immerses himself in the mine treasures world.
行動に入るには鍵がいるんですけど、妖精さん、いつもどこかに隠しちゃうんです。
ほう。
どこにあるか、私ちょっと聞いてきますね。
Paula walks over to the ferry, but soon returns.
聞いてきました。トロッコのおやつの星の下だそうですよ。
謎かけですか？トロッコのおやつとは。
これは電動トロッコだよな。バッテリーは？
はい、ここです。
At the side of the trolley next to the driver's stand is a stack of them. Shaking off his assistant, trying to stop him, the minister peers in.
星は？
どうぞ、懐中電灯ですよ。
お、すまんな。ないようだな。
動力源だったらご飯じゃないですかね。おやつとわざわざ言うからにはそうではなく。
おやつね。3時のおやつ？
ああ。
The thin minister grins.
わかったかもしれませんぞ、おそらくは。だから先ほどわざわざ9時の方角と。
なるほど。
Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry starts looking at the 3 o'clock position of the trolley. If they're having difficulty, we were prepared to give hints, but that doesn't seem necessary now.
おお、星とはこの石か。おっと、あったぞ。錆びついた鍵だ。
よかった。これで行動に入れます。
These are the sounds of footsteps, not. There it was.
見事だな。最末期まで採掘を続けていただけのことはある。
The minister says with an impressed voice, looking at the surroundings.
シールドにもロードヘッダーにも錆一つない。どうだ。今にも動き出しそうじゃないか。
I'm looking at a lot of rust in the top right. Top left. I don't know what you're talking about.
確かに大したものですね。これほど湿気が多いのに。
Oh, don't worry, those bolts were always brown. The Minister of Education, Culture, right? Sports, Science and Technology. Shakes from what a title. Shakes from the colder temperature in the mines. His attendant digs into his suit pocket to take out a.
いやー、いかん。
The Minister of Economy stops him from igniting the silver lighter. It seems he was trying to offer a cigarette.
坑道内にはメタンガスが溜まっていることが多い。火器厳禁と入る前にも言われたろう。 なあ、妖精さん。
The fairy must have been worried about the ladder. The fairy who'd run all the way here from deep in the mines dressed like a miner simply nods to the minister's words.
妖精さん、私たち石炭を掘りたいの。少し分けてもらえるかしら。
Seeing the minister's face, the fairy gives a big smile and heads deep into the mines. The fairy heads to a black rock mass and is waiting for us while carrying a big drill.
おお、実際に掘れるのか。なるほど。これならば危なくない。
As if reacting to those words, the fairy grabs the drill's handle. Vrrr. I guess I'll have to do the sound myself. The roaring sound, a crushing sound, scattering coal. The transparent resin polycarbonate shield blocks those black bullets. I know that. Black Bullet, I know that anime.
おほう、なかなかに興味深い。
なら、お先にどうぞ、大臣。
The Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry's voice causes the fairy to let go of the drill's handle. Why do you have to make me say the name, the full name of this guy? You could have just said Minister of Economy and Minister of Education.
ドリルが暴れると危険です。しっかり握って。が、体重をかけてはいけませんぞ。
The fairy is giving a wry smile while helping. The Minister of Economy seems to be loving this. See, you could just say Thank you for taking my words into account.
よろしいですかな。ならば、ゆっくりと握り込みましょ
う。
お客様、それ、何ですか？素敵ですね。
Grip it slowly. Shut up. That sounds like a hentai. Shut up.
石炭だね。私が掘ったんだよ。
それは本当にすごいです。それなら、そちらの箱は？
鉱山の方妖精さんが持たせてくれたお人よ木工の宝箱なんだそうだ。
いいものですね。妖精さんの宝箱なら。
It's just more coal. Even though she's a bit nervous talking to the ministers, Fukami seems to be acting as she usually does. However, there is an unfamiliar face at the bow of the boat. It must be one of the boatmen that managed to return.
帰りは川下りになるとはな。お人よの観光を堪能させてもらえるわけか。
それもあるんですけど、トロッコの後、さっき妖精さんが追っかけてきてて。
うん？いつだ？
One of the attending bureaucrats respond right after exiting the miners' dormitory, sir. Even in this small of a group, there are some who noticed. Doing these exaggerated movements got them to notice.
怒ってるわけじゃないとは思うんですけど、一応安全策をとって。あら？
さっきの妖精か。手を振ってるな。
Everyone's gaze turns to the shore. In that instant, Paulette puts her ear closer to Reina.
260秒使ってください。
Paulette quickly stands back up.
何か訴えかけてるようです。私、話を聞いてきますね。寄せます。
Fukami rows the oar right away. The boatman also deftly manipulates the boat in order to arrive at the shore in a swift manner. It's perfect up to this point. Reina and Hachiroku's sympathetic connection can match the timing. If things continue going as planned, we can put out our best record.
聞いてきました。
Sure.
わかりました。出しますね。
The boat quickly moves away from the shore. It's been 255 seconds since Paulette stood up. This margin of error is better than expected.
妖精さんはなんと？
私たちの大事な石炭だからって言ってました。
I was... The Paulette's eyes dropped down to the hands of the Minister of Education. Inside the intricate treasure chest is what people call a black diamond. I was joking when I said there was fucking coal in the chest.
大事にしてくれたら嬉しい。使ってもらえたらもっと嬉しいって。
ああ、確かに。使われてこそというのはありましょうね。
しかし、石炭はな、今となっては石炭火力発電所さえ。
A large sound blows from the steam whistle, accompanied by shaking. The air vibrates as the shock transfers from our to our bones.
これは、見事ですね。
下から見るのは初めてだが、大迫力だな。
蒸気機関車8620。私たちが復活させたいと思っている機関車です。
I think you've done a good job in reviving it, alright?
復活？元気に走っているように見えるが。
That's what I'm saying.
走ってもすぐに止まります。お人よ、湯の井の 24.8 キロだけで。
いやあ、なるほどな。そういう意味での復活か。
線路がつながってこそ鉄道ですから。
Paulette starts to talk about her dream as if she were singing. The jet black body of 8620 passes the red railway bridge while puffing out white smoke. It continues straight ahead. Without slowing down, it continues on its path without anything else on its mind.
お人よから北は福岡、小倉、門司まで。南は鹿児島、枕崎へと。
その復活がなされれば、この石炭は真に使われることとなるか。
The Minister of Economy makes a serious expression as he hands the coal to Paulette.
なら使ってくれ。遠慮はいらん。
でしたら引き返させてください。お人よの特産品と。
なるほど。そういうシステムならば、そうしよ
う。僕は持ち帰らせてもらいます。
The Minister of Education quietly closes the lid of its treasure chest.
持ち帰り、孫や知り合いに見せますよ。このお人よの十分や技術継承炭鉱の話と合わせてね。
それもすごく素敵な使われ方だと思います。ありがとうございます。
Wait, did Paulette not notice it? The minister just mentioned it as a cultural property.
で、よろしいですかな、大臣。
もちろん結構ですとも。術戦技術継承炭鉱には今後大いに発展してもらわねばなりませんからな。
Paulette finally realizes it. Possibly from trying to suppress her overflowing joy, she makes a stern face. But while maintaining that awkward expression, she makes a yes movement to me in secret. Aha. I nod with my eyes to answer her. We're not done yet. The safety first mission applies whether it's on the boat Or the trolley. Nagi rolls out of the driver's stand of 8620.
やりましたね、兄さん。
Hibiki follows after her. She's even offering me a handshake. Only a handshake?
マイントレジャー計画、これでうまくいきますね。
なぜ申しって。
お忘れですか、相鉄様。私たちレールロードは。
So you snitched? God damn it, Hachidoku.
おお、レイナからの共感か。
はい、さようです。ですので。あら、相鉄くん、やりました。私たちやりました。
うん。
Paulette runs over and jumps into my arms.
ありがとう、相鉄くん。みんな、相鉄くんのおかげです。
いいや、僕など何もしてない。
そんな。
何もしなくて済んだのだ。それは本当に尊く嬉しいことだと思う。
Understanding what I meant, Paulette nods. In case something happens, I have taken many precautions, and for today, I didn't need to use any of those preparations.
視察を成功へと導いたのは、お人よの力に他ならない。この町が重ねてきたものが、正しく目覚めてくれたから。
Whether I was here or not, the inspection would have been a success. Even if Paulette weren't here, I'm sure the result would not have changed.
一人の力は小さなものだな。それを僕は教えてもらえた気がするよ。
でも、相鉄くん、その目覚めをくれたのは、たった一人のあなたです。
Paulette grabs my hand. Her hand is hot and soft.
相鉄くんが来てくれなければ、私も町もきっと眠ったままでした。
ならば、よかった。君を目覚めさせたのか。他の誰でもない僕で。
She gives a playful smile when I say that.
相鉄くん以外のキスなんて、寝てても私、逃げちゃいますから。
そうなのか。
Kiss. A light peck. Paulette didn't run away. She didn't run away the last time? What? She looks up at me happily, and it makes me think she wants more.
なあ、ポーレット。
Right in front of everyone? This isn't something we should do at the stone storage. We need a more romantic location. A more private location. But I can't stop myself. My adoration for her overflows from deep inside.
僕は君のことが好きだ。
I want to always be with Paulette. I think that's natural. My honest wish comes out of me in the form of words.
僕と結婚してほしい。
How romantic. She looks surprised for a moment. And then her smile becomes softer. She accepts my everything.
はい、相鉄くん。喜んで。やったわーい！準備してくったい！
I hear Nagi's voice from behind. I just realized they're all still here. The footsteps run right outside.
兄さん、おめでとうございます。
Look, it isn't as awkward as Hachidoku's marriage proposal, alright?
おめでとうございます、相鉄様。
At least this time he wasn't surrounded by literally everyone he knew. A short blessing, yet one filled with warmth. From the two girls that I married before. Maitetsu married before. previous routes. After saying that, Hibiki and Hachiroku quickly go outside.
なんだ、準備とか言っていたが。
さあ、なんでしょう。
If they're preparing, maybe we should wait a little. There's never a dull moment when I'm with Paulette.
しまった。そうだ、指輪だ。
いえ、そんなのは別に。
I mean, you didn't need one during Hibiki's and Hachiroku's routes.
いや、買ってあるのだ。家にある。
What?
どうしよう。今からナビを呼んで。
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
後でいいです。それより今は、もっと、一緒にいたいですし。
ポーレット。
ああ、お二方ともここでしたか。
おっと。
My hand begins to reach for Paulette's, but I quickly withdraw it to scratch my head. It's so obvious, but Reverend Akai and his partner don't seem to notice.
言ってやれ。レイナが待ってる。
待ってるって、キハレイナだぜか？
Kiha 7 was restored for the inspection, but Reina wasn't able to ride it. We did promise to let her run it as much as she wanted after the inspection was done.
まさか今日の今日だったとは。
言ってやれ。楽しんでこい。
ありがとう26。君はどうだ？楽しかったか？
愚問。
Her voice is slightly cheery.
野暮だ。お前は。
違いない。
I wave at her and then turn to Reverend Akai. Nidoku is naturally a rail lord. Everything should be transmitted via the sympathetic connection.
赤い宮司も本当にありがとうございます。
お互い様というやつですよ。それよりほら、早く言ってあげてください。
ええ。はい。
What is it? Why are they hurrying me? But it's true that I don't want to keep Reina waiting.
それでは。
ああ、お二人ともご結婚おめでとうございます。
No!
I don't know what you expected. Like I said, it's not like they didn't notice, they just didn't acknowledge it. Also because Nidoku's a fucking snitch. When we exit out to the platform of Ohituyo Station, I find out the meaning of Reverend Akai's words.
なんだこれは。
こんなの、線路を痛めちゃうし。痛まないばい！アルミ缶ばい！軽量ばい！おめでとうございます。私、来るなり、なぎちゃんにこき使われちゃいました。
It's not just Fukami. Makoto Kisaki, Old Man Munokasa, Mrs. Nagayama, and Mrs. Tororu Hot Springs owner, fucking, and even Hosho Mototada. One of these names is not like the other. The volunteers, cast, and even the assemblymen are all on the platform seeing us off with a smile.
視察の結果をみんな気にしてくれていたのか。
ポーレット、相鉄さん、まだですか？
のっと。
We can report it later. We already made plans with Reina, so we can't keep her waiting. I grab Paulette's hand.
ポーレット、行くぞ。もしもレールが痛むのならば、すぐに直すさ。
そうですね。はーい、やっと走れます。
While being pushed by Reina's cheer, Paulette and I pull ourselves close together. We release the brakes, connect the gears, and overlap our hands on the handle as we give Kiha 7 some juice.
走りましょう。ずっと一緒に、これからも。
ああ、ずーっとだ。
The signal's green. There's no reason to hold back.
出発
Why was it so quiet though? Oh, well, there it is. Fuck, man. That's Paulette's ending. I could have finished this yesterday, but no, I had to be like, I have something to do. I already talked about this at the start of the VOD. But my thoughts, good. I liked it. Out of the three, it is definitely my second favorite. I Hachiroku's route is number one, followed by Paulette's, and Hibiki's is third, unfortunately. But that's just how it is, right? It just makes more sense that Paulette's route has more politics in it. And by politics, I mean like... Actually, no, here's the thing. It had less politics than in Hibiki's route. Because Hibiki's route was all about trying to become the mayor any means possible. Hibiki trying to become mayor, and then Paulette's was just she's overworked while being mayor and also running the rail shop and also trying to find a good thing to promote Ohitoyo. And then in the end, she didn't even resign as mayor. Because, I mean, Sotetsu lightened her workload by also being the conductor of Kiha 7 and also making Hibiki and Nagi help in running 8620 with Hachiroku. It's just, okay, this was a good route, except for after Paulette has solved everything, right? And by solved everything, I mean after with the assemblyman stuff and shit, right? The conflict of Hosho Mototada being like, I've called up the ministers, and then, oh, you wanted to hire all of these construction workers? I mean, these craftsmen? Actually, I'm gonna pay them to help in the aircraft factory that didn't even, like, it didn't even amount to anything, because at the end we won, so they never got to finish they don't even get to build the aircraft factory, but at least they got paid 1600 yen an hour, which is like nothing, especially since they're craftsmen, so they have a higher risk when it comes to their work. But other than that, right, I've already complained about the last arc of Paulette's route. Everything else was great. You know, Paulette was great. Reina was adorable. They introduced Niroku, and she barely gets anything. But I guess she is a character. But I mean, when it comes to ranking, right? It's been a while since I've shown my ranking list, right? But now that, well, okay, now that I've gone through the three, right? Hachiroku's, Hibiki's, and Paulette's route, I think my ranking has changed a bit. I'm changing it right now, and here it is. This is a bad background to show it on, but you know, the top three have stayed the same. Reina and Makuta have switched, and so have Nagi and Fukami, and Kisaki's still at the bottom. Look, she only shined in Hibiki's route, but then she was also the opposite. She was also the opposing party against Hibiki. So, like, you know, it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to root for Kisaki when you're doing Hibiki's route. But, you know, I'm gonna have to wait until Kisaki's route to find out if I actually like her more than Fukami, right? But fuck. Look, at the start of the stream, I was like, damn, this VOD is gonna be like 30 minutes long, and I don't know yet, but let's see how long it actually is, right? But yeah, thank you for watching, right? I hope you enjoyed, and if you did a follow, it'd be appreciated. And if you want to support me further, you could always subscribe, right? For the YouTube frogs, you can subscribe if you want. Next time, next route we'll be going through is Makura's, right? Of course. And when it comes to the stream, tomorrow we'll be playing through Amazing Grace, and, you know, continuing on with the Common Route Plus, I guess. New Game Plus, I guess. But either way, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.